Hello and welcome to another edition of the Knots Landing Aftershow. I'm James Lott Jr. here on JLJ Media. Thanks for listening and watching the show. It's a big hit for us, and it's because of you. You in the Facebook chat rooms, on the Twitterverse. Can't get my words out. On the Twitterverse, on Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Several accounts are wonderful. You guys are great. I love doing the show. We're available everywhere. Streaming services, YouTube, JLJ Media. I did a memorable speech, the Karen speech. And there are others I'll be featuring on this show. So I decided to start a subcategory, memorable quotes that just stick with me through the whole series and to today. And there's one that I love, of course, Abby, with Jill Bennett. I remember watching this live and just, as we didn't say it back then, but I'm saying it now, gagging. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, it's a good line. The writer who wrote that line, it was so smart because it was steeped in history. It was shade, but there was some truth to it. And it just worked on so many levels. And a good quote sometimes can do that. It can work on several levels. And this quote works on several levels. So one of the quote is, "You're wondering where Gary is tonight?" Abby says to Jill. Jill tries to play it off. Abby's walking out, then she stops. She turns around and says, "From the second Mrs. Ewing to the soon-to-be third Mrs. Ewing, the first Mrs. Ewing never goes away. Ever." What? It's such a loaded, oh my God, it's a multi-layered, loaded, truthful quote and statement. And Jill just kind of stands there. But Abby's right. Gary and Val were endgame, right? It turns out. I guess they were endgame, yeah. That's a quote that I've loved and wanted to recreate in some other form, but haven't found a place for it. I love that quote. It's great. But there are others I'm going to feature also. But if you remember that quote, and you guys are good, because when I brought up the thing about the eyeshadow and the makeup for Abby, you knew which episode it was. You guys are so good. We need to get this show on some streaming platform. IMDb TV and Amazon TV have Dallas, both the old and the second one, TNT, and they have now Falcon Crest. There's no reason why they shouldn't put on Knots Landing and Dynasty. Let's get those out there. Even Dynasty, CW Dynasty, on the dynasty.com, which on the CW.com, they don't have the old dynasties on there. So let's get them all somewhere. I wish I had a network and have all of them in one place. But meanwhile, let's get Knots Landing on there. 14 seasons. It's so good. I only have, looking over there, my thing, I only have season 1 on DVD. I don't have any of the rest. So I have all of Dallas. And I only have a couple seasons of Dynasty and 1 season of Falcon Crest. But I love a place to go to just watch them and stream them. So you can see if we can make that work. I know it was some kind of campaign on Twitter. Some folks started a little campaign to get Knots Landing on a streaming service. So let's see. I'm James Lott Jr. Great quote. More quotes coming. I love the exchange. I love that we're remembering the show together. And I will see you next time.